President Donald Trump is in Florida today, where he's meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan. It's the second time the two leaders have met at the president's Mar-a-Lago estate. The main focus of the visit is on talks with North Korea. The president says that meeting could happen very soon.
North Korea is coming along. South Korea is meeting and has plans to meet with North Korea to see if they can end the war, and they have my blessing on that. Japan and ourselves are locked, and we are very unified on the subject of North Korea. We will probably be, depending on the various meetings and conversations, we'll be having meetings with Kim Jong-un very soon. That'll be taking place probably in early June or a little before that.
And Chief White House correspondent Major Garrett is traveling with the president and joins me now. So, Major, Prime Minister Abe said that he admired President Trump's courage moving forward with talks on North Korea. Where do these two leaders stand at this point?
Well, they're both very interested in the possibility of a summit between President Trump and North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. The president said in an answer to one question thrown his way as the press was being escorted away from that arrival at Mar-a-Lago with the Japanese Prime Minister that he's looking at 5 possible locations. I would classify that as President Trump trying to keep everyone guessing. My conversations with senior administration officials don't list a number that large because there are a lot of factors being weighed by both sides, the North Koreans and the United States. Maybe 1 or 2 places are possible sites under mutual discussion for a summit. Still hoped for by the administration in May or early June of this year, but lots to work out. Of course, the Japanese Prime Minister highly interested in not only that summit, but one that may happen or is about to happen in South Korea between North Korean and South Korean leaders over a possible formal end to the Korean War, which has been over for many decades but never formally declared over. Both nations still exist under an armistice in a generalized state of war. If North Korea and South Korea were to end that war for good, establish open lines of communication, that would be a diplomatic breakthrough of its own. And the U.S. and Japanese officials watching that progress very closely as they try to continue momentum for a potential Trump-Kim Jong-un summit later on this year.
Major, another topic we know is trade. The president indicated he's open to re-examining TPP, something that Shinzo Abe would probably like to see. Where do they stand on trade at this point?
Well, you're absolutely right, Rena. The Japanese desperately want the United States to come back into that Trans-Pacific Partnership negotiating framework. That's more than a dozen nations involved in a multilateral trade deal, long thought to be an economic lever against China. Why? Because China is not part of those TPP negotiations. As a signal of cooperation and acceptance of that position, last week the administration said it would look back into whether or not it would be a good idea for the United States to re-engage in the Trans-Pacific Partnership talks. That was very welcome news to the Japanese. But today the president's senior economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, said, you know, we're at the very, very early stages of that, and the president's still not convinced that TPP is a good deal for the United States, vastly prefers bilateral, meaning one-on-one trade deals, as opposed to multilateral trade deals. And he would like to see one between the United States and Japan. That's not where Japan is on this. One other side issue under the trade umbrella arena that's going to be very significantly and heavily discussed here, steel tariffs. Japan has not been exempted. The Japanese will come here asking for an exemption on those potential steel tariffs. Larry Kudlow, the president's economic advisor, said the president knows Shinzo Abe. The Japanese prime minister will make that ask. Not clear yet if there'll be any budging from the administration on that as well.
Well, it's clear the president does enjoy his company. Let's see if that leads to anything as well. Lots of topics to discuss there.